Okay, so this is Carter, page 11. And page 10 finished with the words ton, out on, log on. So they're the accusative case after a pen. So he said, the same words, the same thing, which also about the raiment, about the clothing. In other words, he said the same thing that he said also about the clothing. That this sort of thing was fake, it was disguising, it was not allowing the real nature to be seen. So these presents are duplicitous. Line 72. Hos is when. When he came to the wine, and epitheto. It's a strong aorist. It's from an important GCSE verb, punthanamai, which is to ascertain, to learn. So the strong aorist epithomen, epitheto, is deponent, by the way. He ascertained, learnt about, the making of it. So when he came to the wine and learned about the making of it, huper, as in hyper, huperestheis is a PPP essentially, and it means delight. It's delectatus. You can see his enjoyment is hyper because of the prefix there. Delighted by the drink. Don't forget, Greek only has a dative. It doesn't have an ablative. So if it's passive, such as hupererthes, then you're going to have the dative with it. So delighted by the drink, the king asked. Now, don't forget, the verb erotao is I ask. It's got a strong aorist aeromen. Now, all that's going on here is that you've got ep in front of it, which you can just ignore. It still means to ask. So the king asked, and the king asked what the Persians, literally, because it's the present tense, it's a deponent verb. Situntai is the they form of the present tense, but Greek keeps the original, or the tense of the original words. We don't do that in English. We've got to say, the king asked what the Persians ate. And his second question, hoposos means how much. How much time, how much the longest time a Persian man might live. Zoo is to live, as in the word zoo, zoology. So this is an important verb. So he's asking two questions here, the king. What the Persians eat. Sitos is probably in the GCSE word list, and it means food. So what the Persians eat, and how much was the longest time that a Persian man might live. toide is and they. That's the fish eaters. And they said. And they said themselves. There is no word for themselves. If I can try and explain this by writing, and I've not got a good track record of writing. Oh God, that's hopeless. I've tried to write the word heautus. They said themselves. Now what Greek can do is just leave out the themselves if they are the same people as those talking. So you can't do that in Latin. So the Romans said themselves. Romans se dixerunt esse. I don't know. Kalidos. The Romans set themselves to be clever. In Greek you can leave the se out. In short, but they said, or and they said, they ate. On the one hand, they ate bread. So in answer to one of the questions, they ate bread. Artos is bread. Exegesamonoi. Well, hopefully you can tell that is a weak aorist because of the alpha there. And you can see the amonos. So that's a weak aorist deponent participle. And another word I tried to write was, and I am now doing it more successfully, exegesis is an English word that means explanation, and it comes from this Greek verb meaning to explain. If you exegesize something, a word I've just made up, then you explain it. So exegesamonoi, having explained ten fusi, the nature, ton puron, of wheat, or it can also mean grains, of the grains, having explained the nature of the grains. Notice this key word here. This is the word that gives us physics. Physics is about the nature of things, the nature of the universe. So, and they said, by the way, just in case I should have mentioned it earlier, you're used to efer, he said. This is the they form. Efasan, they said. So this is the weird aorist of Lego. Also the weird aorist of the verb fermi, I say. It does for both verbs. So they said that they ate bread, having explained the nature of wheat, ton puron, the nature of the grains, if you want to keep it plural. If you've got a men, you must have a de, and the de is there. And here's a number, 80 years of life. They're going to go on to say is the sort of age that Persians will maximally live to. But that's page 12.